Hey guys, welcome back to another video where we will be looking at the new QR code control for AgilePoint NX eForms. A QR code, short for Quick Response Code, is a two-dimensional machine-readable code that can be scanned using a smartphone or a QR code reader device. QR code can store various types of information such as text, URLs, contact information, email addresses, phone numbers, etc. When a QR code is scanned, the data encoded within it can be quickly decoded and processed by the scanning device, usually a smartphone or a tablet. Now let's look at this in action within the context of eForm. So I'm in my AgilePoint portal. I'm going to go to the eForm designer over here. And if you go to the advanced control group over here, you'll find a new control which is listed, which is called QR code. Just drag and drop the control. You can give it a nice looking name. I'm going to just keep it as default for now. You can specify a default value which is not mandatory. I'm going to do it for my demo. I'm going to just put an email ID over here. So as you can see, it generated a QR code behind the scene. When you go to configure, you can see additional properties which you can configure. The first property you are going to see is the QR code type. Behind the QR code, what kind of text is sitting is dependent on this property. So it could be a regular text, it could be email, it could be a URL to an external website. It could be a telephone number. It could be a geolocation as well. In our case, I'm going to set it to email. The next property you see over here is the error correction level. It tells me that the approximate amount of information that can be missing from the QR code and it would still be readable is 7%. Now you can specify a different value if you want it. I'm going to keep it as 7% for now. I can specify the maximum length. The maximum value can go up to 1800 and the size is 200 pixel. You can go up to 1000 pixel over here. You can specify a different color. By default, it is black, but I can specify a different color. Let's pick a color from here. And as you can see, the color is changing as well. So let's look at this in action. We'll just do a quick preview. And as you can see, the QR code got generated and rendered on the eForm. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this, going to go back to the properties, go to advanced. And now I'm going to enable a download as image button from this QR code. So I'm going to select this checkbox, do a preview again. Now when I hover over the QR code, I can see a download as image button and it got downloaded over here as an image. Let's close the preview again. Let's see some more functionality. Now QR code control is a display only control. So it will not become part of the form schema, but it can still be used in the various form operations like lookups, rule builder as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly add an email control over here above the QR code. Let's call it email. And I'm going to define a rule where whatever value I enter in the email control would be generated as the QR code in the QR code control. So I'm going to go to rule builder. I'll say if email is not equal to blank, set field value QR code and set it to the most recent value which is shown in the email control. So I'm going to drag and drop from here and click OK. So now you can see a rule is bound to this control. And if we do a preview, let's type an email. And as you can see right now, this is the QR code, but if I tab out of it, the QR code got changed. Add a couple of other things over here. QR code changes further. So the rules are getting triggered and getting bound to the QR code in this case. Now you saw me do this through a rule builder. You can, for those programmers out there, you can always do it using the JavaScript as well. So I'm going to show you how programmers can actually make changes to the QR code control. I'm going to bring up the browser developer console and I'm going to paste a JavaScript. I'm going to use an eForm helper method called setFieldValue. What I'm saying is find a control where field ID equal to QR code 11, which was the internal name of my QR code control, and set it to a value specified over here. I'm going to press enter and as you can see the QR code got changed. Again, I can do the same thing. I can make a change over here one more time so that you guys can follow it and press enter. And as you can see, the QR code got generated again. So with that, we come to an end of this demo. As you could see, now we have capability of rendering a QR code within the form itself. Thanks a lot for your time.